Right, so I know it's a little bit hard to see because I used a light tan pencil, but I'm observing my reference photo. I just have it kind of taped in front of me and figuring out my composition. You can always tweak things and figure out if you want your subject matter to be kind of more larger or smaller than it is in the reference photo, lower or higher, more to the left or the right. I liked how it was cropped in the actual reference that I made for myself. So I kind of try to observe and keep the proportions alike when I transferred it onto my canvas. And like I said, rather than using a pencil for your initial sketch, a lot of artists do use pencils. I find that when I do pencil and then put paint over top of it, there's the risk of the graphite from the pencil mixing in with the colors of your paint. And I find that pencil crayon doesn't lift as easy. So downfall of using pencil crayon is that it's not as forgiving when you're sketching. If you're not happy with your sketch, you can't go back and erase. However, I like to use a light pencil first, right? Just to kind of like loosely figure out where things are gonna go. And then when I'm done, right, kind of tweaking and messing around with the image, I can pull out a darker pencil crayon. You can even pull out a completely different color. Here I have like 2 shades of brown. One is a tan brown, one is more of a cocoa reddish brown. You can pick out a totally different color if you want, like a bright red. Okay, and then you can correct what lines you want to keep. And when you're drawing things like fruits, always start off with geometric shapes, right? You could start off with 2 circles and then go back and just kind of play around with the exterior contour of them, kind of bend them and morph them into a bit of a more organic shape. If you do have a still life of your own set up, try to have it set up by a wall or even just drape some white fabric or something in behind it so that you're not distracted with background. Like in this reference photo, we have a little bit of an interest, a little bit of a straight pattern in the background just to add some more visual interest to the overall photo. But again, I mean, it's not too colorful. The color scheme of this piece is analogous because the main subject matter is a nice green and then the blue kind of vibes with the green. A little bit of stripe here or there, but again, if anything, it kind of brings more focus and emphasis on the main subject matter. So don't make your background anything busy. This kind of just helps to frame the fruit of anything. But usually when I have students make their own still lifes, I always say drape some white fabric in the back. Something for your shadow to fall on, right? Because you do want to capture a nice shadow and highlight. But nothing distracting. Okay, and again, I've just gone over with a different colored pencil crayon now, just to, after doing all of my rough kind of squiggly lines, figuring things out, just went over with a different color to solidify the lines that I absolutely want to keep. And there you go. I'm ready to go for my underpainting, and I'm not worried about my acrylic paint, or sometimes for underpaintings, artists use a special paint called gouache. It's almost like an erasable acrylic paint, if you will. It's like a mishmash between watercolor and acrylic. Regardless, whatever paint you use for your underpainting, I know that it's not going to lift my pencil crayon because pencil crayon is a little bit more permanent than regular pencil, and pretty happy with this. We can always tweak it a little bit here or there as we're adding our layers of paint, but this is basically what you want for the initial thumbnail sketch before you get to your monochromatic underpainting.